What is up, my fellow bro gamers? Mr. J313 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at my Angara Insurgent build guide, the Shock Trooper build guide. So, I've been playing a lot with this, and I've noticed that he is actually a lot of fun when you play him really aggressively. Originally, I thought, you know, maybe let's play him defensively, but after playing aggressive, he's really good. And with his health and shields, he's pretty tanky. So, like, when you compare him to a Krogan, he actually can get up quite a bit more health. I know Krogan's can obviously get more health than the Angara Insurgent, but seeing as I'm at 726 now with a 328 shields, comparing that to more of a base Krogan, he stacks up there pretty well with Krogans. So he's not by any definition squishy, but I mean, he could be a tank. You could call him a tank. He's, out of most of the characters, he's pretty tanky. So, for weapons, obviously, you're going to use a shotgun on the first one. Really, it doesn't matter which one you use. If I had the Piranha or the Crusader, I would use it. But I'm using the Ruzod, and I've tried the Disciple. Both of those worked pretty well. For a secondary, I tried a lot of different combos. I tried the X5 Ghost, the Avenger S, the Venom, the Falcon. I tried a lot of different combos, and I can't really pick what I prefer most. It's tough. Honestly, I think I'm having the most fun with the Venom. But for equipment, you're going to have to use the Shock Trooper upgrade. That is what this build revolves around, is using shotgun damage and having the extra power cell capacity just for your trip mines. That's really all it helps on. I wish it was something else, or maybe just more shotgun damage. But let's jump into shield boost. So first three, bottom, top, bottom. Now for bottom, obviously, radius is good, but you want to go with bottom because this is more of a solo. You're going to be running off from the team. You can kind of support yourself, and it also helps when you're with your team because you can give a little bit more shields. I went with recharge speed because I felt like using it more often rather than the initial boost would be better, and from my playtime, it does see that a lower recharge definitely helps. So on 6, you're going to want the duration for it because it'll really help whenever you're in an engagement, getting all of your shields back. For assault turret, very important, first 3, bottom, top, bottom. Now, obviously, health would definitely help, but I kind of find that the recharge speed is much better because the turret seems to always die a lot, and since this is more of an aggressive playstyle rather than a sit and defend, you want the recharge speed so you can take your turret back and then throw it out again real quick. So I went with damage over the Omni tool Link because, you know, it's not as much of a defensive build as an aggressive build. And then obviously you want the flamethrower over cryo beam. They're both good, but I really prefer flamethrower turret. So trip mine, I didn't have enough skill points to just first 3. And that's really all you need for it. So on offensive tech, first 3, top, bottom, bottom. So on 4, you know, I don't really see this as you needing a lot of combo damage. That's why I went with the top for 4. I mean, and then on 5 is, it's always personal preference. Anti-shield, anti-armor, if it's ever one of the two, that will always be personal preference. I typically will always go against armor, but if you prefer shields, then you can go that. It will not affect you any other way. But you have to have 6. Bottom on 6 is a must-have, simply for the 50% weapon weight capacity. You need that to be carrying both of your shotguns or whatever other weapons you're going to be carrying because they're typically pretty heavy weapons. So you definitely need bottom on 6 on offensive tech to make this build work. So bioelectric defense, you're going to go first 3, then bottom and bottom. I honestly think the 6 for bioelectric defense isn't really worth it. I've used bioelectric ward, and honestly, I think it's worthless. I think it's just shit. I hated it. It was horrible. I thought it was a waste of 6 points. So, on 4, evasion was really good. I did have a lot of good moments with it, but simply because he's more of a tanky character with shield boost, I kind of felt like bottom was a little bit more effective, so that's why I went with it. Just having the health and shield regen, I just thought it was a little bit better. So, on 5, I went with bottom. top, you don't really need it because it's more weapon weight, and you already have all the weapon weight you're going to need, so that's why I went that route. So that is the skills. We're going to go ahead and jump into some gameplay now and show off and talk more about the build. So really, whenever I initially started playing this character, I always saw him as a doorman or someone who could sit back and defend the team, or defending a sniper on the team or an infiltrator, watching his back. But then after I decided, hey, let's throw some shotguns on this guy and get really aggressive. And from that point on, I cannot turn back. I cannot go back to a defensive Angara Insurgent. He just works so well being aggressive and fast-paced that it works with him. And I know that for any of you guys who did see my past video on him, whenever my Gauda was down, I did a video. I wasn't able to do commentary on it, but I did have a full match gameplay of this build whenever he was a level 15 on one of the Apex missions. I will have that link down in the description for you guys to go check that out if you would like. But really where I see this build shine is he's really good at controlling in any area of the map by himself. He's self-sustainable because he is more of a tanky kind of character, but he also has shield boost, he has turret to watch his back, he has trip mines to drop on doors, or just use it to stack up damage on a higher tier enemy, such as if it's a berserker or an anointed or a nullifier. He can really just drop those at their feet and really help with taking them down quicker. And it definitely helps having 4. That's really where the Shock Trooper upgrade really kicks in, is you have that extra one, so having 4 is really nice. But where he really just works well with the shotgun, see, that's the other thing. Using secondary weapons, I've tried so many different combos with secondary weapons, and I can't really decide what works best with him. Now, obviously on your primary, you want a shotgun. Now, that comes down to personal preference on which one you're going to use. As of right now, the ones that I have, I prefer the Ruzod. I have tried the Disciple, and I like it. It's not bad, but I just really feel like the Ruzod is better, at least in my opinion, because it packs more damage. Now, I know the Ruzod, me having 3 rounds in my clip versus the Disciple having like 8 or 9, there is a big difference. And the Disciple still does like 800 or 900 damage, I believe, with the Ruzod stacking in at almost 1300. I don't know, I just feel like the Disciple doesn't actually pack the damage that the stats say it does. So, I don't know, I feel more comfortable when I'm using the Ruzod. I don't know why. But if I had the Piranha or the Crusader, I would definitely be using those. If you don't have any of these, then really just pick a shotgun you feel comfortable using. I see a lot of people use the Scatter Shot, and I don't know why, because I think that weapon is ass, but if you like it and it works for you, then use it. But for me, I'm using the Ruzod right now, but Piranha Crusader definitely would be my top choice. Going back to secondary weapons, like I said, I really can't decide. I've tried the Falcon, I've tried the Venom, I've tried the X5 Ghost, I've tried the Avenger S, the new Platinum version or Titanium version, whatever the fuck it is. I've tried a lot of different combos with him, and I feel like assault rifles work well as a secondary for him, but I don't know if they're the best. Once I had always used the Falcon, but lately I've just felt like the Falcon is it's not packing enough damage. So I decided to try the Venom, and this was the first time I decided to try the Venom, and it worked really well. I felt like it didn't have the damage I wish it had, but the fact that you can charge it and it'll fire its initial grenade and then cluster into 3 more, it's really nice. But my problem with the cluster is it doesn't go where you hope it goes, so it's kind of weird to aim. But it's a nice weapon. I honestly feel like if I had to just pick a secondary out of all the ones I've used, I would probably pick the Venom. That's just me, I don't know. But there might be a better one, but I might not have it unlocked yet. But as of now, I'm going to say Ruzod Venom on my build is what I'm going to keep using until I get something else that I feel like is better. So, where his abilities really come into play is, since you're typically on your own, you really need to rely on shield boost a lot. Because a lot of times I found myself getting into situations that I really couldn't handle, and I would have to use my health and shields pack. Because shield boost doesn't always kick in and keep you sustained when you have multiple enemies firing on you. So sometimes you do have to kind of watch out. But in every situation, you always want to run in, throw your assault turret down, and then start going to town. Your assault turret is really going to draw some fire away from some enemies, depending on how their aggro is going to work. But the assault turret, if it is close enough, will be able to light up its flamethrower, hit everyone in that room, and then start using its little machine gun kind of cannons to actually shoot. I don't actually want to call it a machine gun because it's not rapid fire. I don't really know what to call it. It's just kind of like pew pew. Pew pew, pew pew, and it kind of sucks ass, but regardless, it is extra damage that you have and an extra support to keep you alive. So that's really where it comes in. And then trip mines, I always saw them as throw them on a door. When an enemy walks in, they'll step on them, put them at a spawn point, enemies will spawn, it'll blow them up. Put them on a jump place where an enemy jumps up and it'll step on it and blow them up. But really, I've noticed that trying to using it more as an offensive way, you just throw it at their feet when they're standing there, and the moment they take a step back, it just hits them. And using it that way, it's pretty fun. I've noticed some really good results when actually using it that way, so I'm going to continue doing that. Now, I'm not knocking on using it defensively, because you definitely still can. I did quite a few times, but how I've been playing the Angara Insurgent is not necessarily a completely offensive, aggressive character, but more of a mix between the two. I prefer to run into an area and just kind of lock it down. So you're going to be aggressive, but then you're going to really turn defensive. You're going to turn that around. Originally, I would just get to an area and lock it down and not leave that area. And I always saw him as using a sniper with him worked really well. And then that got boring really fast, especially because there's so many infiltrator classes that are just great, especially with the new Turian agent. I mean, there is no contest between any infiltrator in this game against a Turian agent. I don't care what you have to say, you're wrong. The Turian agent is the best infiltrator in this game. He has fucking wall hacks. It's game over. So I can't really see putting a sniper rifle back in my insurgent's hands simply for that reason alone. And now with the new Angaran Exemplar, I'm kind of wondering what's going to come next. I see him as more of a fast-paced kind of guy because of his abilities and recharge speed. So, I don't know. I think he has a healthy mix of aggressive and defensive playstyle. You can really play it to the situation that you get yourself into or that comes to you. So, whether it's on an objective, defending it, you can lock the objective down if it's a hack or the three-way hack, whatever the hell it's called, I can't remember. You can really just lock those down really effectively, or you can just, like I said, jump into a room or in an area and just start wiping out the enemy and then lock that area down or move on to the next one. It really just depends on the situation you're in or how you want to play it out. So as you can see right here, I'm using the Venom, and it works really well, especially over range, and that cluster is really nice. So it took me a little while to actually get the aiming down, but once I actually got it down, I noticed that it worked really well. It just kind of seems a little weird. But regardless, picking a secondary weapon was seemingly a chore for me on this build because there were so many different options because of how I've been playing him. So I just had to play a lot of different games with a lot of different weapons and see what worked best. I don't have any Disciple gameplay as a primary in this video, but like I said, I would definitely choose the Ruzod over the Disciple if I was only picking between those two. So if you prefer the Disciple over the Ruzod or don't have the Ruzod or the Disciple, that's like in all my build guides. I'm going to say the weapon really comes down to what you have, what you prefer, but I'm going to be showing off what worked best for me. So that's really where that comes in. And there's not really a whole lot else to say about this build guide. He's pretty straightforward. You jump in an area, take out all the enemies, and then lock it down or move on to the next. So I really want to skim over real quick a couple of other things about the channel. I know today's video was supposed to be our podcast, but Brian and I both had some pretty lot of stuff on our plate right now. He's with some family right now because they're celebrating a late Father's Day. And shout out to all you fathers out there. Y'all are awesome. I don't know what else to say because I don't know any of you guys, but awesome out there. Keep it awesome. So that's really where we're at right now. We're going to be trying to get that podcast recorded this week. I'm really hoping that I can get that video out next Friday because like I said in all my past videos, we have some really awesome announcements that we really want to show off on that podcast. So we're really excited to get that out. But if in case I don't, there will be another Mass Effect video coming very soon. We actually got in a game with all level 1 gold squad. So that is going to be something pretty interesting for you guys. Definitely keep an eye out on that. I'm not sure how I'm going to edit it up yet because it was a longer video. So I might be cutting it up a bit and showing off the best parts of that video. But it was pretty awesome. As well as maybe another Turian agent build guide. I'm not really sure if I'm going to do another build guide. If you guys would like me to, I'm going to be doing the Hitman build guide on it. So let me know down in the comments if you guys want to see that. Other than that, I'm really just trying to grind out the Angara Exemplar. I really want to get him, play with him a little bit, and do a guide on him. But on another note, I have been playing the Asari Sentinel a lot. And my lord, why was I not playing her sooner? Because I am having so much fun with her character. It is just, her abilities, I've never used Backlash before, and my god, it is so much fun. I don't know what it is. She just seems like a great character when you slap on an assault rifle and just go to town. I don't know why. It's just really satisfying and fun. So I might be doing a build guide or video on her very soon as well. I've just got a lot of different videos I'm combing through, a lot of footage, and I'm trying to decide. If you guys have any suggestions on what you would like to see next, let me know down in the comments, and I will definitely try and get right on that. But my main priority right now is our 100 sub podcast, and again, I want to thank all of you guys who are subscribed, and to anyone who is going to be subscribing after this video, or if you already have from this video, I just want to say thank you. You guys are awesome. You know, keep supporting us. If you want to support the channel even more, you can go support us on Patreon if you would like. There is a link down in the description. So, other than that, you know, definitely go follow us on social media for regular news and updates on the channel or anything in the gaming world that we catch. So that's really, we're coming down to the end of the video now, guys, so I just want to say thank you again to all of our subscribers. If you did enjoy this video, please smash that like button. It'll really help us out. And if you're new around here, you know, you could definitely subscribe because now is probably a pretty good time to do it because we are coming out with videos every Monday and Friday, as well as a few others just when we have something really cool we want to show off. So that's really all I have for you on this one, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. We have lots of crazy cool stuff coming. Definitely go check us out on social media. As always, this has been Mr. J313, and I will catch you guys on the next one.